The problem I worked on was that in Arizona, water is a scarce resource for farming. What makes water a scarce resource for farming is the climate here in Arizona. It is too hot, so then the water evaporates from the plant, so then the plants can't grow because of the little amount of water it gets. Evaporation is a type of vaporization of the liquid that occurs from a surface of liquid into a gas phase into a non-saturated with the evaporating substance. I think by doing this, plants will grow healthier because no water is being evaporated away from the plant. Without this problem, in 5 years, it would change the impact on the stakeholders like farmers, stores, companies, customers, store employees, and many other stakeholders. There would be an increase of crops, and this would help the farmers sell them to stores. This would benefit all the stakeholders in a positive way. My strategy was to build a little shelter-like or screen over my plants to stop water from evaporating so then plants can have more water. What I did to reduce the amount of water being evaporated was that I built a shelter-like or screen over the plant. Someone I interviewed about water evaporation was Chester. The reason I interviewed Chester was because no one wanted to be interviewed at the farm because they were too busy. So I interviewed Chester because he told me he had a huge garden at home and he also takes care of the school's plants.
Um, well, do you think, like creating some sort of shelter to protect them from the sun, like not, not completely, like, not completely like let the sun not shine on them, but
like a screen, you're saying?
yeah, like a screen. You think
know
that
what?
will help?
Not really, because some plants you need a lot of sunlight, and if you deprive them of sunlight, then you're killing the plant. Now you're gonna explain why did you decide to, you know what I'm saying? Now you got the problem with that explaining at that. Adam, go see Miss G. You know what I'm saying? So you're in a no-win situation. Believe them like you said. See, a lot of plants nowadays adaptable to sunlight. See, that's why a lot of them get all their nutrients from is sunlight. You know. So I would say trying to build a screen or something to protect them won't do you any good. Or be more of.
What about one that is still sunlight still shines through, but not as strong as like.
That's what I'm saying. Even that, you still have to say, okay, how much sun am I going to give that plant? How much sun does that plant need? How much all right, Kenny, what temperature can that plant survive at? See, like okay, Let's take those right there, those railers right there. Those railers and those right there, those plants thrive at 117 degree temperature. That's the hot, anything from 100 over you would say is really hot for a plant, but it doesn't affect those plants. The shrub, if you notice during the summer and the spring and late summer, those things turn beautiful purple. All the flowers come up because they're adaptable to the sunlight. You know what I mean? So you don't want to say, well, I'm going to take the sunlight away from them and just give them partial sunlight because the plants may not, those flowers may not adjust to that. You see what I'm saying? Because they're used, it's like a human, you're used to certain things. Those plants are used to certain things, certain temperatures, certain sunlight, and certain things like that there. You don't want to start depriving them of that there.
Okay.
But yeah, the earlier you water it, the better, and the more beautiful yard of shrubs you're gonna have. Like these shrubs here, I used to water those at 5 o'clock in the morning. Between 4 and 5, these shrubs are all watered and stuff. Like if you notice the turtle habitat, you see that hibiscus in there?
Yeah.
See how pretty that is? The water comes on it, and that's watered for an hour.
And you also said in the beginning that it depends on what time of day you water the plants. That makes.
And what I mean by that is, okay, like I'll use like my yard at home. I have great big yard. It's beautifully green because and I have shrubs. I have probably in my yard, I would say I probably got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 6. I probably got 50 shrubs in my yard.
Yeah.
I got the hibiscus, I got the railers, I got the ground covers, I got all kind of shrubs. And what I do to those, if I turn the water on, I have my timer preset at 3 a.m. in the morning. My water comes on at 3. So by the time I get up, walk outside at 6, my ground is already soaked. So I know during the day that those plants, most of that water is going to absorb deep into the ground, into the root of that plant. You know what I'm saying? Although the top's going to look dry, I know the bottom is still wet because it absorbed that water early before it started getting real hot. And that's what you want to try to do. The earlier you water it, the better off you are. The later you water during the day, say 8 or 9 o'clock, the bad is. And then if you water like certain things, like certain yards during the heat of the sun, what happens is they burn. The sun is so hot it burns the yard. That's why you see a lot of brown yards. The sun burns that yard. That water burns that water and it dries up the yard and it burns the grass.
This strategy is useful depending on the plant you're doing it on, because some plants need a lot of sunlight, but this strategy helps because there was less water evaporated and the plant had more water.